Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Fact 14 special edition here of the history of the EBW. Mark Lankford here with, in the studio right now, the one and only, the man, Chris Blade. How's it going?
Title.
Nice to see you here for this. We had the Geek in here today. We had Freak Star in here one-on-one. We even had Jimmy Fran himself telling his story. But we want the man himself, Chris Blade, the one who's been World Heavyweight Champion almost close to 4 times in his career. He's wrestled some of the greatest matches. I want you to describe to the fans about your career, about the 13 years you've been here in the EBW.
Man, 13 years seems like it's going by pretty fast. It's been a good 13 years. Like you said, I've won world titles, and I just hope it keeps on getting better, and I hope we keep on winning world titles.
Now, you started in 1999. Now, who was the very first person to break into the EBW? Who was one of your biggest opponents back in those days? Who did you wrestle more than anybody else in your career?
It would probably be Double G. Me and Double G, we've had countless matches, and dangerous matches as well.
You're probably talking about at least over 30 to 40 matches in the history of the EBW. It could be more than that for all we know.
Yeah, we know each other so well. To this day, we can do a match and probably each one of us out-counter the other one because we wrestled each other so many times.
Well, I'd have to say that was a great match that I saw at the end of the year last year when you wrestled the Italian War Argus. You know, the same person, N64 kid, came back with a different attitude, new look. I mean, that was some great matches. You had 2 good matches with him.
Yeah, we went out there. We knew we had to put on a show for the fans, and at that time my career was kind of looming, and I told my family, you know, I wouldn't do it, but the fans wanted me to do it. Argus wanted me to do it, so I said, what the heck, let's go ahead and do one more match.
You guys are always equally matched. I mean, win and lose, you know, you've won just as many as he's won, and you've lost just as many as he's lost.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's all about perfect timing in wrestling. If you don't have that timing just right, and you always got to look at that other guy, at his weakness. And at that time, at the times I've wrestled him, I've had countless injuries. So sometimes he's beat me, I've had an injury, and sometimes I beat him, he's had injuries. So that's all you got to look for.
What I want to know is you know, I'm watching the history and seeing how you were the man known as Triple J back in them days. I mean, I gotta ask you honestly, out of all, and now you're not even the same man. You're a totally different person than what you used to be. But I still gotta wonder, why did you do all the things that you did back then? I mean, why did you take numerous superstars out and almost end their career, even if, especially, everybody knows what you did to Pyro back in them days?
Yeah, back in the days, you know, there was a lot of good talent in EBW, and to be able to get to the top of the mountain, to be able to hold the world title or any championship in EBW, you got to take out the big stars. So at the time, I was a guy that didn't give a crap about nobody. I don't care who I hurt to get what I wanted. So Pyro was in my way. I took him out. So next, when I'm in that mood, you know, just watch out for me. But right now, I really took a step back and looked at my career and what I've done. And I really thought, you know, maybe I should be the nice guy now. The fans love me more, so we're going with a nice guy right now.
And the best thing about it now is you don't have anybody in your corner who's helping you cheat to win your matches. I mean, back then you had, think about it, you had almost everybody in your corner. You had Freak Star and Hardcore Mike, the new generation. They were in your corner all the time helping you win. And then you even had EB Riot back in the 2005 era. You know, you had EB Riot, who was in your corner, who was your manager. You even had Freak Star a little bit. Well, Freak Star was always back and forth. You guys have always had tension.
Yeah, well, the thing with EB Riot, God rest his soul, he was a guy that wanted to get in wrestling, and I kind of took him underneath my wing and said, all right, well, be my manager if you want to get in wrestling. And me and Freak Star deal, it was a new generation deal, and he wanted to start a new group, and I said, well, why don't we do New Generation, you know, the bad guys of EBW. And for all the people that's out there watching, you know, people are saying, oh, well, Jeff, Chris, you won every championship because you got them handed to you, or you won every match because you got it handed to you because you're best friends with a manager, with a owner, Gus Grant, or Argus, or whatever his name is. But That's a bunch of bull crap. I really busted my butt, and now I may not know everything about wrestling, but I really put on shows, and I really busted my butt to win those championships, and had the success I've had doing backyard. So that's to all the people that doubt me or whatever.
Well, yeah, I can tell you one thing. I mean, over these years, and then especially working with you last year in 2010, you know, there was some tension between us too a little bit. I think, you know, there were some times when, you know, I didn't really see eye to eye with you as well. I mean, you know, I'm a general manager now too, the total general manager. And honestly, I can say I play a little dirty. I can be a little unfair at sometimes, but I just got to do what I got to do. You know, these fans, if they like me or not, I'm gonna screw somebody over, and that's exactly what I will have to do.
Well, you're the image that I was back when I first started. You know, you got to do what you got to do what you got to do to get what you want in wrestling, and you see it on television. From some of the greatest wrestlers of all times, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, you know, there's a lot, the list goes on and on, people that done what they wanted to do to get where they got, so.
Just like Eric Bischoff.
Oh yes, Eric.
I admire Eric Bischoff for his career.
Eric Bischoff.
He's definitely one of them guys that I looked at, and that's who I base myself off. You know, I have to be equal or fair. It doesn't matter. I do it the way that I want to run things, and I'm not a nice guy like Freakstar. I'm not going to sit here and hand you a little title belt, hand you a championship match. I ain't going to do it. I'm going to make you fight for it. And I ain't some dork like the Geek who's been trying to take one of our jobs. I hear the rumors that the Geek's trying to come up the rank. What do you mean? Honestly, with some of these superstars, let me ask you your opinion. Some of the superstars over the years have been ridiculous. They have been hilarious and immature. They've just been I don't know what to say about them. It's stupid. I think, in my opinion, Jimmy Fran, the Geek, I mean, they're just some comical, retarded, okay, you know, I'll take that back. They're just characters that I personally cannot like, and I cannot stand.
Well, I think those characters, Jimmy Fran, and he really brings character to what EBW is. We're entertainment. You got guys like Scarface, which I'm really proud of. I'm not proud that he's a bad guy, but I'm proud that he took initiative and did what he had to do to get recognized, and Jesus, he has got recognized.
Yeah, I mean, he's got these strange voices going in his head right now, and it's like an exorcism up in there.
Well, all I'm going to say is, you know, I'm in the IR title hunt right now. Last year, I went and beat Roadstar. Yeah, Roadstar, and earned a shot at the IR. So whenever Scarface is ready, man, I'll take that title from you.
Well, I'd like to thank you for giving us this time, and,
no
if I want to ask you one last question to wrap up this interview here, I got to ask. Okay, out of 13 years in EBW, definitely, who has been your all-time favorite matches you wrestled against, and what is your best and favorite moment of all time you've had?
Best match, man. I'm gonna have to say, I forgot what Backyard Mania was, but it was me and Inferno in a two-sided ladder match. Holy crap! That match, Backyard Mania 4. Thank you. That match took me to the limit.
I just watched that the other day too. That was.
I actually did too. It was on Pack 14.
Yes,
I believe.
It was a very historic match.
One of our carriers for our shows. But I walked in that match and I knew what I had to do. You know, I knew I knew Inferno was going to be a guy to beat, and I knew I had to cripple him, so gave him pedigree off the top, and that didn't do it. So towards the end of the match, I thought of something, and I did it, and I won the world title.
I've seen that sledgehammer you pulled out too.
Yes.
Even the stop sign. There was a lot of weapons involved in that match.
Took a lot out.
Yes, and you had to get the job done, and I seen you did it.
I do it somehow.
You became the first ever World Heavyweight Champion in EBW. I mean, there was the Undisputed Championship for many years, which was the original world title. But when it came down to the two separations of the titles back in that day, you were the first one to be the World Heavyweight Champion.
And that was a milestone in my career. And what was your other questions?
Definitely the other one was, so basically, your all-time favorite match, any kind of favorite moment you've ever had, any particular moment that you'll look back on and remember for years to come.
Probably being inducted to the EBW Hall of Fame. I mean, if we get more guys, you know, there might be a lot more going into Hall of Fame, but being able to be in the Hall of Fame, something, and people may think, oh wow, it's the Hall of Fame, you know, it's just, you're in something, big deal, but to be around EBW for 13 years and be able to finally get into EBW Hall of Fame is pretty cool.
Well, definitely, you know, hopefully I'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. I mean, I started as a referee in the career, and then I worked my way up to here as the total general manager. I even wrestled you once, and I will say, yes, I was a little bit mean and harsh going after them ribs of yours 2 years ago in 2008. But I can honestly say, you know, I just had to do what I was told. Freakstar was a little, you and him weren't getting along then, and I was kind of listening to him, even though I don't listen to him now. Because look at me, I'm my own general manager.
Yes.
I told. Maybe one day I'll take over Burnout, and Freakstar can hit the road and give it to somebody. Maybe I'll be the general manager of all the shows.
Maybe.
You never know. So you just got to watch your back.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in control, oh yeah, there's anything I can do. But I just want to say, come on now, don't laugh at me. I don't think it's funny. We've done the news before. Now look, I mean, we've done a lot of stuff before, but you don't want to laugh at more Lankford. That just makes me very mad. So what I'm saying here is, you know, I just want to thank him once again for this interview. And definitely glad we got you for this time. And everybody just keep watching Pack 14 every week. You know, what do you want to say to the fans before we wrap this up?
We'll be seeing you in a couple weeks, I believe.
April 23rd, we are debuting the return of EBW Burnout on Pack 14. So hopefully, well actually that'll be the live event of the show. It might be on Pack 14 a week or two after prior. So keep an eye out for that. The new episodes will be coming soon. Right now we're showing some reruns. But hopefully you'll enjoy seeing what we have to offer and get to check out some of the superstars from the past shows and see what's going to happen for this year coming up. So once again, you know, Chris Blade, Mark Lankford, thanks for watching.